focus on serving the people, when you focus on the people side of things, the revenue will come in and you make your profits, And then another thing is making sure that, early enough, learn to outsource. So you can't do everything yourself. And that's something I also learned early in my career was my entrepreneurship journeys. You can't do everything yourself. So learn to, build a team if you can early enough. Learn to outsource things, work with contractors who can help you with all the other stuff that you can't do. Focus on your zone of genius. Focus on the things that you're the expert at. I think you need to have the mindset of an entrepreneur first. Let your cover letter speak to the challenges and the pain points of that company and why they need you because you've done this in the past. Another fantastic way to, cut through that employment, hurdle is using LinkedIn. Well, for me, I've been very clear about this, and my legacy really is to always stand out as a woman of color and to make people know and understand that regardless of where you were born or, where you live most of your life, when you immigrate to a new country, you need to understand that you can still add value anywhere. My legacy is to let people understand that, you are valued regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of where you were born, we're human first.
Even like at midnight, 12 in the midnight, you are there emailing the details.
I know, right? Feels like I was on turbo engine.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Startup Impact. I'm Shivi. Our guest today on the show is an award winner career coach and speaker who is also the founder of the company My BA Career, Eno Eka. Eno is on the mission to empower and coach people to help them transition their career and kickstart their journey as a business analyst. Also, her journey has been truly remarkable. She has been the face of women empowerment and also an inspiration to the whole immigrant community. Eno immigrated to Canada just 2 years before with no friends or family, just with her 2 bags and her dream to make Calgary her home. Today, she has been nominated as one of the Canada's most powerful women on top 100 list. She has been awarded globally multiple times with awards like Forbes 30 Under 30 nominee, Calgary Top 40 Under 40 nominee, Universal Women's Network winner, RBC Women of Influencer Award, and the list goes on. So please help me in welcoming the girl on mission with an extraordinary journey, Eno Eka. Eno, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Girl, what on earth? Your journey.
I know. Crazy. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, feels like a dream because it just feels like I still remember like everything, the whole experience of arriving in Canada, being at the airport and stepping out of YYC airport and
right?
going, and I run back in. And I'm like, there's no way I'm stepping out there. It's snowing in April, right? And I'm just there with my light coat I'm wearing, right? Because I didn't have the proper winter coat. And my friend who came to pick me up, I'm like, you have to come to this entrance. I'm not stepping outside because it was really cold. But then again, it just feels like yesterday and time flies so fast. It's over 2 years now.
I know. In fact, I came in April too, and I remember like it was snowing in April. And I was like, what on earth? It's snowing in April. Your journey, the more I think about it, the more I listened about it, every day is an inspiration to me. And especially like, is it true that you got your first real job in Canada, like your first job within 2 weeks of your landing here, and not just any odd job, but like a real job?
I did. In my first.
How did that magic happen?
That's because I arrived prepared and I was doing the work. So before I arrived Canada, I started networking with people using LinkedIn, connecting with people. I started applying. So because I had gotten an apartment before I arrived, I'd gotten a roommate, so I had an address. I'd gotten a temporary phone number, so I already had a resume. I'd had my resume reviewed, by professionals. So I had a resume. I was already applying for roles, and I was really doing the work. And when I say doing the work, I mean networking with people, asking questions, getting to understand how things really work here, right? And then applying aggressively, right? Because looking for a job is a full-time job. And because I knew that I didn't want to be where I saw some other people at, where they were here for a while, and after spending so much of the funds they came with, they just found themselves getting anything and anything just to get by, and that wasn't what I wanted. I sort of stuck with my goals. I said I wanted to work in a professional job. I have what it takes. I'm here as a professional skilled immigrant. So I definitely know that my skills are still relevant. So I stuck with that, even though I had a lot of people say you should just, start with something very basic, like everyone does. But I'm like, no. So I really put in that extra work. So I started networking with people, going out to actually talk to people who are immigrants here that have been here for a while, learning from their experiences, and really just taking a chance on myself, applying for positions that a typical immigrant will not even think of applying for, right? But just taking that chance on myself and saying, all I need is 1 year. They take me or not, like I'm not bothered. I was just putting everything out there, like pushing, like pushing through every door is what I was doing. And then taking up every interview possible, because I knew that as I kept practicing and I kept, doing the interviews, I got better and better. And I really understood what the Canadian companies were looking for. So with a lot of practice, it just became like my second nature. And at my second week to third week, I'd gotten like 3 or 4 offers and I had to pick one.
Wow, kudos. Oh my God, what you said is completely true. You just nailed that mantra, like 3 mantras of networking, networking, and networking in Canada that works. And keep applying, keep pushing, focus on the goal. Don't get diverted with the negativity, which is all around with the people who are not prepared, and get prepared to succeed as an immigrant. Do your research. That's so true, and thank you so much for sharing that. In fact, what you say is 80% is mindset and 20% is strategy. I was listening to one of your interviews and you talked about it.
Yes.
So is it true that in 5 months you launched your first corporation in Canada? And so like in 5 months, I keep hearing people that 5 years it takes them to just adjust with winters, to just adjust with the city, to adjust with the culture.
Exactly. I know, right? Feels like I was on turbo engines. Like, so the thing with me is I'm very ambitious, and I set big goals for myself. Like I take on challenges. Like I'd never tell you no, I can't do it. So with regards to setting up my company, it started with an opportunity that came to me where I was supposed to consult. It was a consulting opportunity, and it needed to be a B2B, so it was business to business, not B2C. So I needed to have my own business name to actually get on that consulting engagement. So that was really the reason why I started that company. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just register my own company anyways. And even when that first gig didn't fall through, I'm like, well, I now have a company, so I might as well start doing things with this company. And thereafter, about a month or 2 after I registered that company, so many other consulting opportunities came on, and then it also kind of expanded my horizon and made me say to myself, why can't I even do other things on the side with my company, as a separate entity? And really that's how, coaching and training started, and, all the other consulting opportunities that I got.
Oh my God. So you just moved out of your zone of comfort to go into your zone of excellence.
Exactly. That is definitely what I did. And this is what I share with a lot of people. I say, take a chance on yourself. A lot of times we just tell ourselves we can't do it. I started teaching at a university in Canada, and I got that opportunity to create the content for the University of Manitoba to start teaching for them, and I was just about, say 7 to 8 months in Canada, right? And when I got that opportunity, a lot of people were saying, how do you do it? How come? And I'm like, because I applied, right? I didn't say I can't do it. I just applied and I got the interview, and I went into the interview and I spoke about how I could do this, and I spoke about my previous experience. So a lot of times we're not taking opportunities in front of us because we self-sabotage, we disqualify ourselves before we even get the opportunity. And the truth is, you never know what could actually attract people to you. So like even my first experience with the university, it was because I had been volunteering already in a teaching position, right? So that also gave them the comfort that, oh, this person has already been teaching. So she already has some teaching experience here in Canada. And that was really one of the things that made them actually say, you know what, you're creating the content for us. How about you also teach for us? So there was a second offer during the interview in itself, right? So, stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping into your zone of excellence and not being scared to fail. Like, I rather embrace the failure and learn from it than go to bed with the what if I applied for that job? What if I had taken that opportunity? What if? Right?
Correct. So we don't want to get into this what if syndrome. And thank you that you brought this point out. So we all know that where you have become today, what you have become today. But as you said that the failure is the first step for the first teachers. So what were your challenges? What were some of your failures, your challenges that you faced to climb this ladder and become what you are today?
Well, there's a lot of challenges. The first challenge really was myself. I'm getting out of my head and telling myself I could do it. Not self-sabotaging, not disqualifying myself. I used to have imposter syndrome, which is what a lot of people struggle with, being young, being in a male-dominated industry, being immigrant. There was a lot of odds stacked against me, really, not having a tech degree, not having Canadian experience, you name it. Like, I didn't tick all those boxes, right? So a lot of all those things, to those challenges for me in the initial stages, especially when, people have actually, said things, that would make you start doubting yourself, or other people share their own experiences. I remember where I got my first job, I had someone who was close to me tell me that I shouldn't bother applying, that company, in quote, didn't employ immigrants, or that because you had to do a video interview. And she said that a lot of people who had done the video interviews, right, because they send you questions and you record yourself and you send it off. So it's not like a face-to-face interview. So she said that for a lot of immigrants who've done those, video interviews, they get disqualified because
assumptions,
because of our accents, because of our skin color.
Yeah.
She told me not to bother, with that. And I'm like, I'll still go ahead and do it because I'm not everybody, right? We all have our different experiences. I have my own unique abilities, and I know that I speak well, very well. I know that I can articulate my thoughts better. I know that I have value to offer. So stepping away from all those narratives and actually forging ahead and deciding this is what I want to achieve and doing the work, doing it every day, waking up and doing the work is really what, moved me away from all those challenges, right? And then having the right mindset, because it's how you see yourself and how you show up that, other people also see you. So, moving away from that mindset of, I need a job, I'm a job seeker, I'm desperate for a job, I need to pay my bills, I need to have a livelihood. Moving away from that thought process to, they need me, right? I am value, I have value to offer, right? I have a track record of success. I have a track record of accomplishments. I have a track record of achievements. If I can, get the opportunity, right, to communicate my value, right, to communicate my accomplishment and achievement, then they would see why they need me. So when my mindset shifted from I need a job to they need me, and showing up as that person, who is there to provide solutions to the company, to provide solutions to that team, it changed the game for me totally. Right. And that's what I advise a lot of people, when you're going to show up as someone who's there to solve a problem, to actually help them. Right. So, and then in return for the value that I'm offering, they're going to give me a compensation, because it's a two-way street. So having that mindset also kind of changed things for me. And then another thing was, helping me to overcome the challenges was understanding where I am right now, where I wanted to be, knowing that there were gaps and filling those gaps as fast as possible. So when I arrived, I started looking at the job descriptions, what the companies were looking out for, and looking at my own self, auditing myself, looking at where my strengths were, what my weaknesses were, right? What were the opportunities for me that I could leverage? And then what could also be the threats, and seeing how I could overcome all those things. Now, when I did that, I saw that there were gaps, and I found ways to close those gaps by, taking courses, learning new skills, increasing my knowledge, right? Getting coaching and mentorship. These help to close that gap real fast. And that's why it seems like, oh, she's had a lot of rapid success. But that was because I identified, where the gaps were, and I closed them as fast as possible. So it took a bit of personal investment, because I had to invest time, I had to invest money, invest my energy into doing this. But did it pay off? Yes, it did. Right. So, closing that gap, recognizing that there were gaps, and finding ways to close those gaps to become the better version and become who I really wanted to be.
Wow. This is so helpful, and especially like not only to the new immigrants, especially like seeing the current situation of COVID and where people are getting demotivated with the job losses. Thank you so much for sharing those tips of volunteering, networking, mentoring, getting out, doing it, and mindset is just everything. It just uplifts us, it just helps us, empowers us to just go out and get and become what we want to.
Exactly.
And then what you talk about in your class, BA class, that anyone can be a BA. Anyone, no matter if you have a tech degree or not, if you have a technical experience or not. So what are the common misconceptions that people have, that people carry out, and what are the common mistakes you see in your class that people make, and if they make, like, how do they nail the interviews, how are they able to become successful in crossing that mindset of the recruiters of the companies that they do not come from the tech background?
Yeah. So, this is something that I teach a lot, especially in, when I have my classes or my webinars, and people are always asking, how do I, start a career in business now as I want to become a BA? And, I always like to share my story about, how I used to be an accountant, and now I'm in business analysis, and, I moved into the tech space. So not just being the BA, but also being in tech. Now, what I tell people is that because the core role of function of a BA is to actually help companies deliver value by recommending solutions to them. Therefore, anyone can do this. So if you've helped the company, increase their profits, reduce costs, you help with improving the business process, you've helped with improving customer satisfaction, you've helped with employee retention, you've helped with customer retention. A lot of all these things are the things that business analysts do, right? So a lot of us have done these things in the past. And, because we didn't know that these were business analyst activities, and there's actually a role called the BA role, we're doing these things, being called, anything regardless. Now, because you've done these things, you can definitely decide to now move into the core BA role. And this just, depends on 7 things. So 1, working on the business analysis mindset. So having the mindset that you can do it. Secondly is now gaining the knowledge, understanding how the standards of business analysis work, right? So The IIBA have the standards, they have the business analysis book of knowledge. So studying it and really understanding more about business analysis, developing the skills of a business analyst. There's something called a competency model. So knowing the skills required of a business analyst, and the top two skills required for business analysts are communication skills and problem solving skills. So if you have these skills already, then you're good to go. You can now develop the other skills, which the business analysis book of knowledge talks about. And then when you have the skills, you can look into getting certifications. So there's certifications for business analysis. There's the CBAP, there's the CCB, and the ECBA. I talk about all of this, on my profiles on my YouTube channels. I talk about how you can, on LinkedIn, I talk about how you can actually get the certifications. So these certifications will now validate the experiences that you've had, regardless of your job title. Because the fantastic thing is that you don't need to have had the title of business analyst to get the certifications, right? So that's something you can leverage on. And then the next thing you could also leverage on is getting coaching and mentorship. So if you feel like you need someone to coach you on really how to, get past the recruiters, how to get your resume done right, how to get your LinkedIn profile done right, how to transfer all the amazing things you've done in your past life into the business analysis world, then you can definitely get some coaching and some mentorship to help you with that. And then once you have all these things going, make sure that you implement some continuous improvement into your life, because it's a very dynamic field. You need to keep learning, understanding new methodologies, understanding the trends, in the industry. And if you're able to do all these things, then it's super, super easy for you to make that transition. So I've done it, and I've helped other people do the same. And just like you said, I am an evangelist for I'm an evangelist for this, because I feel like there's a lot more potentials that we have, especially in the roles we're in, whereby if we really do an audit, we would see that we've done BA activities. And if we can actually get more people into business analysis field, because there's a huge demand for business analysts, then people could actually deliver more value when wearing that BA hat, and also get compensated better, right? Because business analysts earn over $80,000 annually globally. That's a global average. So, getting people to really understand that if you want to change your role, you can. If you want to increase your income, you can. If you want to also just feel like you're waking up every day doing something that's of impact, something that's adding value to the organization, then the BA role is the role for you.
Wow, you just nailed that point. Don't confuse inexperience with unqualified.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
So to my audience, if you want to be a BA, look no further. Eno is the girl for you.
Yeah, talk to me.
Wow. So, what do you, saying that, like the current situation of the market during the COVID, do you still see the potential of BA opportunities out there? Do you still feel that there are the opportunities in general in the market for people to transition their career and to get hired?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think now more than ever, companies are looking at, better ways to actually re-engineer their processes, improve their processes. Their business rules and policies have to change. And that's where BAs come in, because we're the ones who would review where we are right now, analyze it, and also define where we need to be. We also look at what other competitors are doing, what's happening in the industry, and try to benchmark what they're doing. And also ask our customers, what do you think? What do you want from us? So we do some market analysis. And that's where BA is coming, because who can do this better than a business analyst who is always thinking about the value to the business, right? So if you're always thinking about the business value, you're always thinking about the value to your clients, to your stakeholders, the BAs would always, always, always be important. The role of a BA would never die in an organization. In fact, the demand is actually higher now. In my program, I've had a lot of people get jobs even during the COVID, and a lot of people interviewing every day, for new job opportunities in Canada, in the US, so it's booming, right? There's never a better time than now to actually get those opportunities, apply, pitch your ideas or pitch yourself actually to organizations that you can help.
Wow. No wonder, you are a go-getter. And in fact, like whenever I spoke to you, whenever I see that beautiful smile of you, like with inspiration, like at midnight 12 in the midnight, you are there emailing the details. Oh my God. What on earth, like no wonder you are an inspiration. You're an inspiration to the whole BA immigrant women empowerment community.
Thank you
Who
so
is
much.
your inspiration,
Ooh, my inspiration is my mom, actually. My mom inspires me, to be better, to do better. I've never had a better, more exciting cheerleader than my mom. She comments on all my posts on Facebook and everywhere else. She's not on LinkedIn yet. Last night she said she wanted to join Instagram. I'm like, no, don't join Instagram. No, 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 no. But yeah, but she's my cheerleader. She supports me. She prays for me. She cheers me on. Um, she's an amazing mom. Wife. Mother. She puts her children first. Even when she had a really really amazing career, there's times she made sure to put her children first before making some career decisions, and I appreciate her for that. She's a very strong woman, and I sort of try to mirror her in some things that she's done in her life. She definitely inspires me to do better, and I definitely want to do better and be better so that I can, give her the world. I mean, that's what you want to do for them.
Wow, thank you for sharing your personal
Sure,
insight. And
sure.
like, yeah, salute to your mom. Like amazing, like
Yeah,
mothers of the world. They help us. They build us, and that's
yeah.
the reason why we are here today.
Yes.
Absolutely. I have always believed that if you have the right path, if you have done your research well, which
Yeah,
you just talked about,
yeah,
that's what that the cycle is going. What is your next step? So like for you, like even creating an organization, a company, a corporation, like within 5 months of your journey in Canada, what do you think would be your some tips to the newcomers or even to any aspiring entrepreneurs who wants to establish their business, who are looking forward to start their entrepreneurship career? What are some tips from your end that they should keep in the mind before getting into this roller coaster?
yeah. So, oh my God, entrepreneurship is definitely a roller coaster. I think you need to have the mindset of an entrepreneur first. So I'd always had that. And when we say entrepreneurship, not it doesn't have to be buying and selling like e-commerce or anything like that, because people just tag entrepreneurship to buying and selling things on Amazon or eBay. Not everyone has to do that, right? So first, being a consultant, you're an entrepreneur, right? So always look for ways to help people. So if there are ways where you can help people, if there's something that based on your knowledge or your skills that is valuable to a lot of people, not just your immediate family, then you have something worth sharing. You have something that's worth packaging as a service, right? Or as a product to people. So definitely knowing your niche, knowing who you can serve, knowing how you can serve them, and also something else is
Mm-hmm.
working on your brand. So this is something that
Mm-hmm.
I learned early in my entrepreneurship journey, and just like everyone else, when I wanted to start, with my company, I had my company logo done, I had a website done, I had flyers done, and all that stuff. With any consulting everywhere, and then it was basically just posting the flyers and everything, and it was crickets, and trying to see how I could get more opportunities for the business, where it was crickets, like nobody actually saying, I want to know more about what you do. So that was a mistake I made earlier. And what I advise a lot of people when they reach out to me and say, how have you achieved so much success, in such a short time, and all that stuff? How have you grown your business to six figures, here? And I'm like, because I stepped away from just showing the brand and talking about the business, then letting people see me, because people buy from people. So a lot of people don't even know the name of my business now anymore. They just know that they're working with Eno, right? So Eno is helping their company do this. Eno is helping them on based on this AHA program, right? So they don't really know the name of the company anymore. So if you own a company, you want to start a company, then you need to step in front of the brand, right? Because
Wow, this is,
CEO of the company, then people would buy from you. So people
yeah.
need to know you, know your story,
Mm-hmm.
and get to get to know you, get to
Mm-hmm.
become your customer before they even buy from your company. People will buy from you when they can relate to you, when you're personable, when they can relate to your mission, they can relate to your company's
Right.
vision.
Right.
They don't even want to know the name of the company. They don't even want to know if you have a physical location or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, we're more concerned about those things first. I would say focus on really building your brand, because that's really how you get people to come to you, and focus on serving people. When you serve, when you focus on serving, if your service is for $5 and you focus on serving 1,000 people, then that gives you $5,000 in revenue. So you've served 1,000 people. If you focus on just the numbers on making $5,000, then you wouldn't really know how many people you want to serve because you're focused on the money. When you're focused on serving people, when you serve people, people would pay for the services. And at the end of the day, your business will become profitable. So focus on serving people. How about we want to be the company that serves 100,000 people. We want to serve the people of the city of Calgary. We want to serve the people of the province of Alberta, right? So we're focused on the people. When you're focused on the people, your customers, asking them what they want and giving them what they want, they will definitely give you the value for your services. So focus on serving the people. When you focus on the people side of things, the revenue will come in and you make your profits, And then another thing is making sure that, early enough, learn to outsource. So you can't do everything yourself. And that's something I also learned early in my career was my entrepreneurship journeys. You can't do everything yourself. So learn to, build a team if you can early enough. Learn to outsource things, work with contractors who can help you with all the other stuff that you can't do. Focus on your zone of genius. Focus on the things that you're the expert at. And remember, as the CEO of the company, always remember that you're the visionary of the company. You have the vision, you know where this company is going to grow to, you know what you want the company to achieve. So therefore, no one can make the better decisions than you. So remember that sitting on the seat of the visionary isn't trying to do a million things at the same time, like being on Canva and doing LinkedIn and doing social media and doing branding and doing uh, pitching ideas and doing everything. No, you need people who have the expertise in all these areas to actually support you. And then you, with your vision, you tell them the vision, and then you can brainstorm on ideas and new ways of doing things. And also look at your competitors. Competitors are a great way to actually learn how to do business better. What are they doing that you can do better? What are the lapses in their systems? What are the things, how are they serving people, and how can you do it better? You can also use your competitors to actually leverage and and get a head start in the in the game. So yeah, a lot of tips I can share, but yeah, because we have limited time here, but that's a good number of things that you can actually learn and get started and just get on with it. Don't be so driven by making profit and making money immediately. Just be focused on serving people and just doing things right.
Wow. Be of service. And you just gave us our tweet moment of people buy from people. So
Yeah,
you have to be the brand of your product.
exactly. Show up as the leader. Show up as a leader. That's what you should always do. Yes.
And I learned something today, and what you said about it, and what to everybody out there is that money is spent once, but income, knowledge monetizes forever.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
wow,
Exactly.
that's a great thought. Uh, saying that nobody better than you, and this is what the audience wait for this moment. Nobody better than you to guide them as how to secure employment, as as Eno's some masterclass tips as how to secure employment, and especially in this time,
Yeah.
especially in the time when we have seen much job losses than ever before.
Yeah. Yeah. So in these times, you have to be creative, right? You have to sort of be different because I mean, are there opportunities? Yes, there are lots of opportunities, but it's more like the supply is now more than the demand these days. You'd see an opportunity posted and in 8 hours you see like, over thousands of people have applied already. So it shows there's a lot of people actually looking for opportunities. So you have to be creative. So first of all, you want to make sure that your resume stands out, right? These days people just skim through. So you want to make sure that, from top bottom is how people would look at your resume. So you want to make sure that your resume stands out first from your summary, right? Talking about your professional summary, you want to make sure it stands out. So your skills, make sure it's catchy, right? Gone are the days when, you want to just talk about all the tasks you did and how you make coffee for your boss and all that stuff. Nobody wants to know about that on your resume, right? So you want to make sure that your resume is achievement driven, is accomplishment driven. We can see the amazing things you've done. And when you talk about how you worked on a project that cut across, 3 continents and 20 countries, that increased the revenue of a company with over $10 billion, then I want to talk to you. I want to hear more about what you've done. You've caught my attention there, right? So, find ways to stand out. If there's amazing things you're doing, with your volunteering service, with mentorship, put that on your resume. I've gotten people say, your volunteering experience caught my attention. So you never know, but always make sure you're standing out. What makes me different, right? I'm unique from you, Shivi. So what makes you unique, Shivi, is what you should really have there. Stand out on your resume. And even when you have to do a cover letter, stand out as well. Um, let your cover letter speak to the challenges and the pain points of that company and why they need you because you've done this in the past. Another fantastic way to, cut through that employment, hurdle is using LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is now the fastest growing, global social media platform for professionals. LinkedIn is a fantastic way to get in front of people all over the world. The reach is amazing, right? I have connections like all over the world. I speak to people in different countries every day. And that's the reason why, even in my programs, I have people from 5 continents and over 10 countries. And that's really because with LinkedIn, you have that global reach. So, optimize LinkedIn as much as you can. Make sure your profile stands out. When someone sees your name, what do they see underneath is your headline. Make sure your headline stands out, because if you have a headline that stands out, people are going to click on your profile and want to see more about you. And when they click on your profile, make sure that they're not disappointed. Make sure you give them something worth their time. So make sure you have a fantastic LinkedIn profile that attracts also people to you, because when the search is done, there's keywords that I use for that search, right? And if you have, I have a LinkedIn premium account. So I don't know if this happens for other LinkedIn accounts, but every week, LinkedIn tells me how many people view my profile, how many people search for me, and then the keywords that they use to search for me. So you want to make sure that, if you're looking for opportunities in a specific area, then you have all the keywords related to that opportunity on your profile, right? So all the keywords for that industry, make sure you have that on your profile, because when they search, those keywords are going to attract them to you. Okay, your profile is going to be seen. You want to keep an active profile on LinkedIn as well, because when your profile is active, it shows up more on people's feeds. It shows up during the searches as well. And also commenting, engagement, right? That's the way to also be seen by other people. When I comment on Shivi's post, people on my, people on Shivi's profile see me. People on my profile see Shivi's profile. So it's a two-way street. When Shivi comments on my post, people on my network, see Shivi, right? And then the same way back and forth. So you want to make sure you're engaging with people, you're commenting on posts, because that's increasing your visibility as well. You also want to make sure you're connecting with people who are relevant in your industry, people who are where you want to be. So you want to connect with people at different levels of the business. So you want to connect with the recruiters, with the hiring managers, with the talent consultants and talent coordinators and all those people who do the groundwork for employment. So connect with those people. You want to also connect with, the mid-level managers who would do like the first round of screenings, like, the hiring managers, the finance manager, the business analysis manager, the head of the project team, those kind of people. You want to connect with those kind of people in the targeted industries you're looking at or targeted companies. And then, you want to also try to connect with people in the senior level management as well. And when you're doing this, make sure that you're also posting, creating content, commenting, sharing thoughtful comments, showing your intelligence and your brilliance, right? And not just coming on LinkedIn to laugh or to make snide jokes, but to be very intentional about the things you say. So for me, I speak about business analysis all the time because that's what I'm passionate about. So everyone knows that when they think about business analysis, they think of me. They know that at every point in time, they can reach out to me or go to my profile and read something that's going to give them some insight about business analysis. So doing that, the people you're connecting with are seeing things about you, right? And they're seeing that this person can add value. And then when you connect with people, engage with them, have human connections with them, have, conversations with them. Don't ask people for a job. Instead, show them your value, tell them what you've done and ask them questions about their organization, and then when you build that connection, you can always, try to take it offline to an online meeting, say Zoom right now because of what's happening, or if they're ready to start meeting with you in person, and just let them get to know more about you. But be very intentional and strategic because during those connections and those conversations, you can always talk about the fact that you love what they do at the company and this is what you do, this is your passion, and that also sparks their interest because they're going to be open and willing to referring you for roles or even tell you about the opportunities that aren't posted, because a lot of opportunities don't actually get on the job boards. They get filled through referrals, right? So you want to make sure you're doing all that and then always show up as a problem solver, right? So people have gotten jobs through just chatting with decision makers in companies and letting them know their thoughts about some things the company is doing or some challenges. And the truth is, with the internet right now, you can find out anything about any company. You can know what they're up to. You can find out about their performance. You can find out about their recent projects. They have blogs. They have social media pages. They have websites. And you can use this to actually get more information about the companies and share your learnings and share some innovative ideas, creative ideas you have, and talk about the fact that you're happy to speak to anybody that's leading that project or leading that movement, right? Or even create something, a documentation of something, right? All these things are creative ways that you can be seen, be heard, and and you can break through the hidden job market.
Wow, thank you for sharing that capsule. I hope job seekers, you are taking advantage of this masterclass, which is sharing here, and these are the proven records of the results. So make sure you take these advices, you inculcate it to be successful and to land an opportunity in the job market. No wonder, why your story is an inspiration in itself.
Thank you.
You have done so much for the community. You have done so much for people out there, and your act of service and the value that you have created. My question to you is, what does Eno needs from the community to make her successful in her next steps, in her vision? Because no better than CEO who envisions her company. So what is your ask from the community? Is there anything that we can do to support you in your journey to make you successful?
Well, I'm thankful for the success that I've gotten so far, and I'm grateful for the community, everything people have done. I was recently nominated for the RBC Top 75 Immigrants in Canada, and I appreciate everyone who took our time to vote for me. and to show their support and their love. And I really, really appreciate it. Really, I would say, instead, I want to support you, the community. So, follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Eno Eka. And then on other social media pages, which is Twitter and Instagram, is Miss Pragmatic. But, on LinkedIn, which is where I'm most active, is Eno Eka. And, I'll definitely love to support you as well. But, how I can say you should support me is by paying it forward, right? Helping someone else. So if you've gotten some success somehow, or you have some knowledge, give back. When it comes to knowledge, I don't hesitate to share my knowledge, right? I don't hesitate to share what I've learned. And that's something I've always found, that the more that I help and give people and share my knowledge, the more that I get back, from other people who are willing to teach me and share their knowledge with me as well. So, take one opportunity to help someone, coming behind you, and really just pay it forward.
Wow, that's inspirational.
Thank you.
So, what is the mark? What is the impact? If I talk about what is the impact that Eno wants to create? Eno wants to create in the community. What is the mark that she wants to leave behind? Her legacy. What do you envision your legacy to be?
Oh, fantastic! Well, for me, I've been very clear about this, and my legacy really is to always stand out as a woman of color, and to make people know and understand that regardless of where you were born, or where you live most of your life, when you immigrate to a new country, you need to understand that you can still add value anywhere. My legacy is to let people understand that you are valued regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of where you were born. We're human first, right? So because we're human first, we all share the same earth, we breathe the same air, right? And we all have unique stories. And one of my mantras, is that share your story, let your story be known, share your story, inspire people. Your victories in your story, and that's why I don't hesitate to share my story with people, at all. And I really just want people to know that if I could do this, you can as well. So whenever you hit a challenge, think about me, think about Eno, how she achieved this, right? If Eno could do it, then you can as well.
Yeah, if you can do it, we can do it together. Exactly. That's powerful, Eno. Thank you so much for sharing your remarkable journey, your stories, your tips into and the insight and how you became like what you became, and your challenges and your personal instance. Like, my God, no wonder, like, we all see the end results, but the hardship, the struggle that has gone through, and especially preparing for that. So thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you so much, Shivi. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. And to everyone out there, never be scared to share your story, your victories in your story.
Absolutely. In that note, thank you so much, everyone, for watching this show. And thank you so much, Eno, for being here on the Startup Impact Show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day whenever you see this. And feel free to, follow the Startup Impact. Amazing things Shivi is doing. Follow Shivi on LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn. My website is www.enoeka.com. And I'm sure, Shivi would give you more information on how you can reach out to me. Bye.
Hey everyone, that was Eno Eka on the Startup Impact Show, sharing her remarkable story and amazing insights to aspiring entrepreneurs and job seekers. Should you like her show, please do not forget to subscribe my channel. Also, if you're a job seeker or an aspiring entrepreneur, and if you have any questions from the market leaders, please leave them in the comment box for me to ask with my next guest. Till then, stay safe and be awesome.